In terms of the impact on Glenlock, I don't know if I live in Weston Creek and I work in Dixon. I can assure you, since the opening of that Glenlock interchange and been able to go through all the way through to Ginninderra Drive each morning, it's halved my commuter time each morning. In terms of, I agree with you, in terms of going from 2 lanes to 1, that's probably more going from north to south. There probably still are some issues, and I noticed that the government's got some capital works funding in to look at that second lane. But in terms of going from south to north, which is what I think we're talking about, it's fantastic. From a commuter at peak hour.
Well, that's good. Well, thank you very much. In my view, perhaps one of the best things about this planning is the fact that the horticultural school is being moved to the great campus. Given the state of our water resources at the moment, I've had a look at the curriculum of this school, but definitely needs strengthening in areas such as soil storage and water absorption by stores and so on. And in the university side, the students in the environmental design school do need to get outside and get their hands dirty. Now, with looking at the background level, we've all been talking about bit here and there. I've been thinking about the whole background level with the 3 new studies coming on stream. Now, what's going to happen when everybody starts to think, what's going to happen when everyone starts to develop their gardens? Most of them have absolutely no idea what a water-wise garden looks like, or how to develop a water-wise garden. Now, you've got the caretaker's cottage, which has been a lot of fire drama over the last 2 months. I have been wondering whether or not an appropriate use for the cottage could be an information centre for people wanting data on how to develop a water-wise garden in their own home, and also but the area surrounding the cottage could be, if the Weston side with the university people collaborative with the students, but they've got the landscape like this water-wise garden, so that people go there, they understand the concept of what they can do with their own garden, because the traditional garden wanted to study the water uses in the first 2 years is absolutely phenomenal. That's one possible thing you might like to think about and then thought that into account. It'd be a very good use of the cottage. I think it would be a viable use for about 5-10 years. Okay. Thank you.
You raise a few things there, Noel. The use of the cottage is a matter now that government's got to consider it, and it knows that people are keeping an eye on them about that. So I suspect there'll be a bit of consultation around that, and that's certainly one of the options for it. In terms of water-wise, that's certainly in newer states, in trying to encourage zero-scape type gardens. That's one of the areas that, in developing areas, that is looked at, and certainly Ford's been a good example of that. One of the opportunities that we have here, and what we've tried to identify in the territory plan variation, is the opportunity to water mine this pond, subject to rainfalls and the level of the pond, to use the water in that pond for the irrigation, the opportunity to use the water in that for the irrigation of public space around that, and also further afield in terms of public playing fields.
We're talking just about the zero-scape garden. Why are you demolishing the existing one? Why? I can't follow this. I hear all of this and might have a new one. Why are we demolishing the existing one?
The government's made a decision to move the CIT, and I'll touch on that, of its relocating to Bruce.
The xeriscape garden was never CIT.
It's not, it's independent, the horticultural society. It's funded by their money.
It's on land that's been managed by the CIT. So the land that they're and the CIT are moving, if the CIT chose to continue maintaining it, that would be an option, and clearly no one would demolish anything. But my understanding is that the CIT are moving to Bruce, lock, stock and barrel. They're certainly going through a feasibility study at this stage to look at that option.
They put their resources to teach them. Currently, it is used to teach people exactly that kind of gardening. So I don't understand why we need to relocate it at cost.
At this stage, we've identified what we think, which is a bit of the first go, are the key elements of the CIT elements. There needs to be further survey work done to identify what are the key elements of it, and I'm not saying that we've got it right. There's still some further work to be done, but it's certainly a step forward from I think what you were presented about a month ago, which was an oval. We've had a bit of a go, and we've continued to have a go in that area.
We've just underlined that in the minutes, so we'll actually go back to that, and we've got a good point. There's a gentleman who's been patient up the back here, and a lady in the corner, and I'll come across to here, that's okay. It's hard to keep track of his hands. Where were you, sir?
Thank you. With all the development being planned, what is the number of people that are going to come and live there, and where do they come from? Are they additional to those who already live in Canberra, or is it just moving from one part of Canberra to another? So what is the design population for this plan? That's the first question. And the second question is, what is the design water provision in terms of litres per capita per person per day? And thirdly, how will those water provisions compare with our current stage 1, 2, 3, etc. water restrictions? Will there be, in effect, be water restrictions with all these additional units of accommodation?
Okay, I think I can remember that. In terms of population, for the whole of Molonglo, and certainly the original intention for the whole of Molonglo, which had East Molonglo, Central Molonglo and West Molonglo, which is sort of like West Common. The original intention of that was about 33,000 dwellings and a population of about 75,000 persons. This government's made a decision to defer any development in that Central Molonglo area, which is about 9,000 dwellings. So for 20 years, and that was a decision that it made a couple of weeks ago. What that means is it's now a population of about 55,000. That includes a bit of North Weston. 55,000, about 25,000 dwellings. Second one was in the
litres per day per person.
Litres per day. Okay. Houses that get built in this area here. We have a water sensitive urban design guideline where there's a requirement that we are, and correct me where I'm wrong, Bruce, need to be 40% more efficient than houses built since 2003. Sorry. So houses built post 2003 need to be 40% more efficient than every house built before 2003. That means every house that's in Weston is at least 40% more inefficient than the houses that are going to be built here. So what we're looking at in terms of water efficiency is a far greater efficiency than what's in existing Western Creek now and the bulk of Woden Valley. In terms of water restrictions would apply equally from North Western to existing Western. And the third question was...
Yeah, well, I asked, what is the capacity in terms of litres per capita for all these additional people, not just efficiency?
And old residents.
And first, and then furthermore, I said for the normal water, how will that normal provision compare with our current provisions, and will that new situation be equivalent to stage 1, 2, 3 or whatever restrictions? In other words, we're going to have water restrictions forever.
Well, for all intents and purposes, this will be 40% more efficient at least than every house here. So in terms of stage 1, 2 and 3,